Lefty podcast. What's good? We gave you a great show with special co-host Cam McDaniel this morning. We're brought to you by Notre Whiskey at norwhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, norwhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure you do it.
Responsibly.
And CFP Nation, presented by Twisted Tea.
Yeah, sing one time.
Hey, hey,
Twisted
hey,
tea.
Twisted Tea. Yo. Notre Dame football on deck. Louisville undefeated. Another primetime game. Um, it's shocking because the fan base is not building up this Louisville squad the same way they were building up the Duke squad. But nonetheless, there is concern. And I told you guys Left was going to be jealous, right? Yeah, so I was like, as soon as Left finds out, no, we went ahead and knocked out an hour, me and Cam, I told you Left's gonna be like, well, man, you want to do something? We want to chop it up? Of course. Who doesn't
It's
want to talk?
Louisville week. It was
Who doesn't want to
Louisville
talk
week.
Notre Dame football? Who doesn't? So we're gonna start with this LL question today. Are you more concerned about this game than you were about the Duke game? That's the LL question of the day. Are you more concerned about this game than you were about the Duke game? Left, the quarterback, Jack Plummer, we faced him last year. He was the quarterback of Cal. I think the wide receiver, the Sturdivant kid, he's the kid that transferred to UCLA that's out there having a nice season. I watched 2 games of Louisville, and we can get to that in a little bit. But something that you said at the start of this game, Notre Dame has to be careful because this is going to be very similar to Central Michigan. Why? Because that cat Jeff Brom is going to have some stuff up his sleeve to talk about that Left. Like Al Golden usually prepares really well for teams, but
Yeah, we're going against a team that is coached pretty well, and they're going to be game planning for things that they see against our defense. But Jeff Brom has been proven to have some pretty good things that he does well, and you see the players he's been able to turn out, like our guy Charlie Jones, and the
mm-hmm.
production he's been able to get out of a Purdue team that is middle of the road, and now he's got a chance to go to Louisville and do it with some a little bit of faster players. I think what he does on offense makes sense, and it's definitely going to present uh, things that we'll have to adjust to in the game. But I think we'll be able to do that by the second half and close out by the start of the fourth. So they're definitely going to give us some looks and do some things that go against what we want to do on defense, but that's what you get from good offensive coordinators, good coaches. They're going to find a way to plug and chug. Unfortunately for Louisville, they just don't have the talent nor the depth to
Mm.
execute it in all 4 quarters.
Talk about that talent and depth. Hey, I watched 2 games. The Georgia Tech game, which Georgia Tech pretty much dominated for about a half, and then Louisville in the run game. It wasn't a passing game, and they have some really athletic receivers that you have to watch. They got some
They
talent.
always do at Louisville.
Yeah, they always have a Tutu Atwell. That's
It's like
that's
four
Dame.
two outwells at a time. They just different speeds and variations.
So, but Notre Dame you really don't fear. But we could talk about this leading up to USC. This is the first year where we really don't fear the other team's wide receiver core.
That's right.
Like we were worried about Ohio State because we knew they had some dogs. So we're like, okay, let's see how we hold up. And we held up pretty well. The only other I think the wide receiver core at USC is deeper. I don't think they have 2 receivers at USC that are better than Marvin Harrison and Ibuka. I think they would be the top 2 receivers if they went onto USC's roster. they would be the top two receivers on USC's roster.
Yeah.
However, the number of playmakers that USC has at the position, I think, is a little bit more than what what Ohio
Yeah,
State has.
Ohio State has the most talented, but
Hmm.
USC has a talented depth. That's something to deal with, especially when Caleb's able to get all of them to football. So, it's not just a main guy. It's about three or four guys that can get activated if we allow them to in the pass game.
So what exactly? Because like you said, we've struggled against Jeff Brom Purdue teams. They've always found a way to keep the game close. There's some talented pass rushers, but once again, it's like this Notre Dame team is really equipped to handle their schedule, right? Because USC, once again, is at the top of sacks and quarterback pressures because they get out in front and then their defensive line doesn't have to worry about the run game and they can just come after the quarterback. But Notre Dame has the two great tackles, right? They have the defensive backfield that they normally don't have. And they really are equipped to go up against this schedule and the challenges that they're going to face. I ask you, offensively, I'm sure you're worried about Jeff Brom a little bit more than the offensive coordinator, Mr. Johns from Duke.
Yeah, I think Louisville has more production at their receivers than Duke could ever have. And I think Jeff Brom is going to be able to use that to his advantage, getting guys the football in space, trying
Mm-hmm.
to get guys some one-on-one matchups in the inside slot. That's been a vulnerable place for us. So he's going to be able to create some mismatches. It's just about our adjustments to it after we get hit with it a couple times. That's why, the first couple series, don't be surprised to see Louisville make some plays and impact because we're just getting adjusted to how they play. But by third, fourth quarter, we should be able to squash their efforts. But Duke, on the other hand, is just they more dependent on their quarterback, Riley Leonard,
Mm-hmm.
than they were trying to be able to provide a threat for us on the receiver side of things. So I think us figuring that out early, we end up seeing them get desperate and turn Riley Leonard into a running back by the end of the game.
Had a conversation with Cam this morning about that Duke matchup. And Cam said they were a good team. Cam said, man, I'm not as disrespectful as you and Malik towards Duke. He said, he's like, I think they're an all right team. And he said they'll challenge in the ACC depending upon Riley Leonard's ankle, which they said he's going to miss 2 weeks. They luckily have a bye week, but then they face North Carolina State, who, heck, they don't have a quarterback. So they're going to struggle scoring against Duke's defense. And the ACC is weak.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's real interesting seeing how the NFL and these players are being apologists for Zach Wilson,
What
but
did you
they're
think about that? Now, let me ask you a question. As a player, shout out to my boy, Mr. Harrison from Chicago Heights, Marian Catholic. But did you think he was out of line with the way he kept trying to get?
I mean, optically, yeah, sure, like whatever. You don't want
Like,
to.
if you were doing that interview on CBS, you wouldn't go in that direction, even if you felt like that particular player really was.
He just used garbage. He wouldn't say garbage on the air.
Hmm.
He'll say it in the locker room, probably one-on-one conversation. So
Hmm.
other than where it's at, then I mean,
Before we
he
move
is
on,
garbage though. He
hey,
is garbage.
hey, hey, Lucky Lefty podcast fans, today is this is a fan show. So, man, send your questions at us. We're about to answer at least 15 to 20 questions, whatever it is, Notre Dame, college football. Line them up, throw them at us. Like we talked about the wide receivers yesterday, we got real good hands right here on Lucky Lefty Podcast. We know how to catch the questions and answer. You might not like our answer, but we definitely will get at you. I
See, the thing is, though, it's like, listen, if this person is, if somebody's not good, it's
Uh-huh.
because it's the standard in which we expect that position to be. So if you're not there, I don't understand what all these people are sitting here apologizing to Zach Wilson but killing Daniel Jones in the same city.
Now, I will say this. No, first of all, hey, I don't have any word. I told, look, man, the only thing that has eased my thoughts about the contract given to Jones is that after next year they're done with him. They did a really good job of structuring the contract. They basically gave him a 2-year tryout. Like, okay, we're gonna get you your money. We're not about to commit to you to like 5, 6 years, like Joe Burrow and all the top guys. Hey, you're gonna hit our cap hard for 2 years, and after that, we don't owe you anything, so we can move on from it. The way the team is trending right now, left, they might be in the Drake May sweepstakes.
No, I can see it. No, I can
Coming in
see it.
April, they're looking at a top 5 pick, and they might be in a Drake May sweepstakes.
I
So
mean, heck, there's a bunch of good quarterbacks this draft. It'd be hard to
if they
miss on
come
any of
out,
these guys.
because that Caleb Williams is sending out smoke signals like, no, dog, I don't want nothing to do with the Bears. Nothing.
Well, but the Vikings can make a move. You know, they got 2 picks in the top. The Vikings could do something.
Those Vikings are looking really good there, left.
Division good. They just looking division
Okay,
good.
okay. Lucky Lefty podcast. This is my thing. Your boy Chase Claypool is up here going through some issues right now. Okay.
Issues
Yeah, he's going
of
through
the
some issues
social
right now.
media crisis that he,
No. See, you know how people always feel like, man, we keep it a buck, we keep it 100. We say that, but there are certain things that we've talked about that we said, no, we really can't go hard or really talk about that because it might not really show the program in a good light. Which my point is, you can speak the truth and you can really know what you're talking about. However, you might not need to say it. And this is one of those things. Chase didn't need to say what he said last week, even though he basically answered a question. Because basically what Chase said, Justin Fields had already said a week before. Justin Fields
he
had
ain't
already
Justin
told.
Fields. Wait a minute, he's
That's
not
my
Justin
point.
Fields.
But that's my point. That's why Chase needed to relax. Justin already said it, bro. You don't have to say it. Justin already said it. So when they ask you the same question, don't get
That's a
pulled into that.
setup, man. That's
Right. It's a setup. Don't get pulled into that. Don't get pulled into that. He allowed himself to. Now, I tweeted this out.
okay.
I
If
tweeted
that's the
this
case,
out.
he fell for it. Then if that's the
Yes, he
case,
did. A lot of people, I saw former Bears, Lance Briggs on like post game show. Everybody was like, man, you can't say that. You have to be a team guy. And you know what I tweeted out? I said, man, y'all miss me with this team guy stuff. I said, that stuff is an illusion. That's something for the media and their fans to suck up. I said, man, when stuff is crazy, the best conversations are amongst the players because they have real conversations about
that's why Rodney Harrison said what he said. There you
exactly,
go.
exactly. Like you might not want to hear it, but I guarantee you Notre Dame players had some conversations after they got back to their dorms about the Ohio State game.
What do you think they said about Drew Pine last year?
Absolutely. But people think, no, that and look, I'm telling you, Chicago Bears players have been calling Matt Eberflus trash for at least half a year. At least. The report came out today that if they don't win Thursday night, he's out of here.
Who they play Thursday night?
They play the Commanders Thursday on the road.
Oh, that's a tough game.
He's out of here. You can already book it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So, hey man, look, the conversation we had with Cam was about which team is going to show up, right? And Cam thought that the Duke game kind of allowed Notre Dame to like get their bearings, and they were able to kind of like exhale and say, "Man, we got away with one." Like, all right, we pulled victory from the jaws of defeat, and now Cam feels like, yo, now they see USC down the tracks, and Louisville's in the way. And he's like, yo, Louisville might get run over. He's like, I really feel like Notre Dame's going to show up. They get healthy receivers back. Jaden Thomas is back. Eli Raritan is back in the tight end rotation, which is huge. And you get Jaden Greathouse back. Louisville could be on the tracks and they could get run over, bro.
Jared Parker needs to be conducting the train on that track. They need to be leading the charge with scoring drives and looking to get points. He's acting like we got to do everything we can to beat these teams.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do anything outside of the realm of doing what we're supposed to do. You're going to games like these teams are the same talent level as us. Defense isn't doing that. Defense is like, you guys aren't good. We're going to put our schemes out there and use our talent to beat you. Offensively, we have to catch up to that.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 games, defense has played beyond an average team defensively wise.
Mm-hmm.
They played beyond that. You hold the two top 10 teams, well, not 2 top 10, a top 5 and a top 25 team to pedestrian points.
But be honest with me. Because Duke, they play Clemson, but they really, other than that, Clemson's not as good as Notre Dame.
Right.
Clemson's not as good as Notre Dame, but they were ranked. And then they played Northwestern.
we're gonna take the ranked points when we get them.
Yeah, my point is on my question.
Syracuse is ranked when we played them last year, and they end up being the bottom 500 by the
went in there and spanked them.
Spanked them. That's right.
With Drew Pine, went in there and spanked them.
So yeah, we got to take the rank when we can, but Jared Parker's got to show up like all these teams are bottom 500. The defense is showing up like that. Defense is playing technically lights out.
Now I will say this.
Did you see LSU give up 50 points last week?
Bro.
See, we wouldn't give up that
many.
Wait
a minute. You know what I mean? They might give up 50 this weekend against Texas A&M. I told you, LSU not to lose some games. Oh, this Brian Kelly, Brian Kelly's post games this season are going to be epic. Epic. The meltdown is about to be real. It's about to be real. Max Johnson can mess around and put another 40 or 50 up.
Bad season, not beating Bama?
Because Texas A&M's wide receivers are better than Ole Miss's.
Brian Kelly on the hot seat already?
My father just got back from New Orleans doing a conference left, and he came to see me today. So he pulled up, and his best friend is an LSU grad, season ticket holder. And so I said, "Man, is your boy okay?" He said, "Yeah, he all right. He's hanging in there." He said he's not off the train yet. He's gonna give him a little bit more time. I said, "A little bit more time." I thought he was going to where it was more talent. That's what we were told. I couldn't pass it up. They actually, give them ices on the field during summer practice. Like they let them get snow cones, and they actually have a real chef for these players so they can play better. And there's better talent down here, better recruiting base. Remember all of that? And then he brought the same coaches.
Go what you know.
It was supposed to be better. It was supposed to be better. Lucky Lefty podcast. So this Louisville game is Notre Dame gets healthy. This defense has shocked me. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a beat. We can talk about it. I am pleasantly surprised with Al Golden in his preparation. And despite not having your typical dominant defensive line, what the defensive line is, man, Howard Cross this entire season, I think maybe he had one subpar game. against Central Michigan. Other than that,
He
last
been
time I
playing
saw,
lights out.
last time I saw a defensive tackle with 13 and a half, with 13 and a half tackles in a game.
Was Jerry, right?
Yeah. And three and a
Well,
half
Shaq been
tackles
on
for
one or
loss.
two.
Man.
So what happened to our guy Onyé?
He played. He had two quarterback hurries in the first half.
Just not as Howard Cross production level.
Man, look, remember Jason Ongay was getting more ticked because of the injury to Gabriel Rubio.
Right.
Gabriel Rubio came back for Ohio State, so that took away some of his reps. So he's still getting on the field, but Gabriel Rubio is the guy. Him and Riley in the middle, along with Howard Cross. That's really the rotation, with Jason Ongay getting a few snaps in here and there.
It's more like the X-Men than it is like the Avengers. X-Men is like it's a many talented D linemen, none necessarily better than the others. All got their individual talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas different than the Avengers, where it's like the Commanders D line are the Avengers. They got all first round picks.
Man,
Those boys are those boys are pretty good.
I'm praying for my boy Justin. I'm praying for my boy Justin.
He better start running around like last year.
Hey man,
I wonder what the people at the gas station telling him these days. Is it because it's not
I'm
necessarily his
headed that
fault?
way. I'll do some investigative reporting tonight because I'm headed that way.
Hey, you
As
might
soon as
run
we're
into him.
done, I'm headed that way. I'm gonna stop on Roosevelt Road, and I'm like, yo, what do you guys think about Justin?
Get the vibe of the city.
So it is imperative that Notre Dame is able to get right. It's imperative.
Definitely a must.
Let me ask you a question. I asked Cam this. Ohio State, Notre Dame's back to back of Ohio State and Duke, or USC's back to back of Notre Dame and Utah.
Oh man.
They play Notre Dame and Utah
Oh
back to
man.
back weeks, bro.
Somebody in scheduling didn't understand or something. They must have forgot. But I'd much rather go through ours than what they're going through because one, they don't have a defense. So
Mm-hmm.
you putting your one-dimensional team against two teams that ain't gonna let you just do whatever on offense.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You gonna play well, but you ain't gonna just do whatever now. Like you doing to these Colorado, and we ain't Colorado.
And they're gonna run that rock.
And
They gonna, 2
both
straight
teams gonna
weeks.
run that rock.
Yeah.
So that whole 65 points a game and all that, no, it ain't gonna
Yeah.
look like that. With us, and the difference is we control both of our destinies in those games. Ohio State, we could have scored 50 points if we wanted to, but we had the game and the fate in our hands. We chose not to participate in half the game.
The film was the same this week, love.
Oh yeah,
Even with limited receivers. Look, let me tell you something, man. I am thoroughly impressed with Rico Flores. Rico Flores doesn't have top end
nope,
Tobias Merriweather
nope,
speed,
nope.
but the boy knows how to play wide receiver.
That's right. You know how to play the game.
And he's going to get better each and every week. His confidence is going to grow. Jared Parker, I'll tell you this, love, and once you get a chance, or if you get a chance to watch the All 22, the game plan wasn't as bad as we might think, left. Game plan wise.
It
It
is
wasn't as
bad.
bad. It
It
wasn't
is
as bad
bad.
as we thought. No, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you, there were opportunities. Put it like this. There were opportunities that I felt like there were conversations on the phone on the sideline, like, yo, why didn't you pull the trigger? Yeah, we already feel like Notre Dame because the penalties left 13 points on the like they should have been in the 30s. You're on mute.
Easy 30-point victory for sure.
Absolutely. They should have if they played better and more efficient, Notre Dame would have had 30 points. And we would have been like, 30's not enough, but it is what it is. So for me, I'm not saying that I give them a higher grade. If I bump them up, I bump them up maybe a half a grade,
What I gave
right?
him a C? I gave him a C.
Yeah, you did. You did. I wouldn't mind bumping them up to a C plus. I wouldn't mind.
I mean, we won. You can go far away when you win.
Let's be honest. What would your grade be if Tobias Merriweather caught the two deep passes?
A
You
C
you're
plus.
now.
A C plus because I'm upset about not having the point margin. Margin of victory for a team like that plays basketball. Why can't it look like North Carolina State? North Carolina State, Pittsburgh, and Louisville.
North Carolina State plays basketball too, left.
No,
That's
they
Jim
ain't Duke. They
Valvano's
ain't Duke. They
squad.
ain't Duke. They not Duke or North Carolina. Hell, North
Mm,
Carolina, Louisville, Virginia, all them teams are the same to me.
hmm
They all beat each other, none greater than the other. Their challenges, but the margin of victory of where we are as a team
hmm
needs to keep all those teams at bay. All those teams are 25-point victories at least. So when we have these variations of playing North Carolina, blowing them out, then playing it close with Duke, then blowing out Pitt, then playing it close to North Carolina, it's too bipolar for me because all these teams are generally the same.
hmm
None of them got great quarterbacks except North Carolina State, but none of them got the talent to beat us.
So let's dig into Louisville just a little bit because we got to have the rest of the week. Jeff Brom, genius, very smart offensive mind, but he loves to run the ball. They run the ball 55% of the time, love. They run the ball and they have two really good running backs. Two really good running backs.
They are.
So, when you think offense, they average 34 points a game. They only give up 21 points a game defensively. I think that's going to go up after this game against Notre Dame. And
I
I
mean,
think that,
we man, the whole emotional thing definitely plays a factor. I just find it hard for us to flip on a switch at this point in the season if it's not going from high gear to going to such a low gear.
mm,
And the amount of points that we've had, I don't know if we can just flip the switch on, but I think we'll keep it a 14-point cushion. I think that's where we are as a team right now. You just can't go from 40-point victories to 3-point victories, 2-point losses to 40-point victories again, especially if you're playing pretty generally the same type of team.
mhm. It is, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I think execution wise, Notre Dame has struggled the last 2 weeks because of missed opportunities. Let's be honest. They had two or three missed opportunities for points against Ohio State. We said that Sam Hartman could have put in a little bit more effort on the 4th and 1. Then he got stuffed on another quarterback sneak on a 4th and 1. Those are two drives that could have ended in touchdowns because they were moving the ball. So now you're talking about Notre Dame having 28 points against Ohio State and the missed field goal. So that's 31. They could have had 30. We already said penalties cost them points and left points on the field. They should have had 30 points against Duke. So even though we see the reality, the truth of the matter is if they can get back to just being efficient and not making the simple mistakes, their offense should be good enough and their quarterback should be good enough to put up 30 points. Not
Easily.
the yeah, not the spectacular.
It don't have to be.
No.
But we're built to win those games like that. But the execution along with a mindset, it has to be the difference in those games.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Lucky Lefty podcast. I already know what you're about to say. I know you're a huge Aldrich Estimate fan. 12 has to touch the ball left. 12 has to touch the ball. I don't care if you give him swing passes, screens.
They gave him that. This is not enough.
He got, man, look, to go to him the way they did in the first half, and then in the second half, it's like, it just struck me as strange. Like,
And I think that's when you get caught up in the groundswell of, oh, let's go to what we know, go to our veteran leadership. And that's where you saw the implementation of a Sam Hartman go to work and Audrey go to work late in the game.
yeah,
I talked about that earlier in the season and earlier in camp. Was that at some point when things get tight, you got to have an X factor. You can't be having these 5-man rotations and trying to throw the ball to everybody on the roster. You got to go to your bread and butter, and that's what we did in that opportunity. Went to our bread and butter with Audric and Sam, and Jeremiah Love will fall into that role. I think when the games get a little more opened up and he gets a little bit more experience. But right now, I think Jared Parker went with what he knows best and put the game in Audric and Sam's hands. They the ones shooting all the commercials, so hey, hey, we ride or die with that one.
tell me what you think about this because I've heard this recently in the NFL this weekend, and I heard it on the college level. The smartest OCs call plays to their scheme to start the game. But when they get into the crust of the game, you don't call plays for your scheme. You call plays for your best players. Like, that's cool. You script your first 25 plays, 15 plays. You got something to scheme to go against their tendencies and all of that. That's fine. You get into the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Hey, man, let me tell y'all something. It was a joy to see. Who's the new? Because the old OC is in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson,
Oh,
right?
Todd
So
Monken.
Bobo is the new OC for Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Right? Let me tell you something that Mike Bobo did. He called a scheme and tried to run the ball and throw the ball to the other tight end for like 2.5 quarters. And then it got to that fourth quarter, and he was like 19, 19,
19. 19.
19.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
oh, you gonna
exact.
call it for again? Yep.
And that's exactly what you got to do. I mean, you recruit hard for reasons like that, especially if you got guys like Brock Bauer on your team. You want to do what makes you the offensive coordinator and scheme and game plan and all of that. Script your 25 plays. Those are the rewards of your hard work throughout the week. The cipher in there, defense or offense. Script those 25 plays. Boom, we're good. After that, you get a feel for what they're doing, how they're attacking you. I'm going to why my guys are my guys and what guys I can depend on in the clutch because now, okay, once I figured out what you're doing, I'm just scheming plays for my best players to go at you. I'm not wasting time trying to figure out, all right, how can I share the love and still beat this team? In tight games, I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. We done felt it out. Now we got to go to our impact players and put them in the right positions, maybe with the same plays that we game plan, but put them in positions to throw the football their way or give them the football. That's what's going to win you games in the
Yeah.
end. The fun loving, everybody touches the rock is kind of like how basketball works in the NBA. Everybody has a role, so if you a 3 and D guy, you a 3 and D guy, and then when it comes
Yeah.
that fourth quarter, you better pass, play D, and then if you kicked out the ball, you better make the three. It's that easy.
Absolutely. Man.
You can do all that other stuff another time, but
I was laughing with my guy because Giannis has been in Milwaukee at the end of games. Chris Middleton was the guy that closed out games, right?
that's right. He's a closer.
Not no more.
No,
It's Dame time now, baby. Chris Middleton better go sit in that corner
And Drew Holiday gone too.
Yeah, because in Milwaukee, it's Dame time now. That's the closer. So you're right. Things change, and I don't know if Jared Parker have we really seen from his play calling like, okay, this is my guy.
We don't, and that's why we've been flailing and seeing spurts of guys here and there,
Hmm.
which is my problem I had in the beginning of the season. Once you got to go to your guys, who they gonna be? Well, the whole season you doing a little bit of everybody, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of
Hmm.
that, and then when we get to the end, you don't know what to call. It didn't look like we knew what to call that last drive at Duke. I mean at Ohio State. And hell, it barely looked like we knew what to call that last drive at Duke. Sam just made a play. Aldridge made a play. Let's say Aldridge gets tackled and he doesn't get the first down. You just ran the ball with 40 seconds left and the clock's ticking. Let's be honest about that. What's your
And
next play? What's your next play
and
call, Jared Parker?
and we don't trust this a place kicker. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So now, not only did you run the ball with 30 seconds left, if he gets tackled, doesn't get the first down, the clock's running. That's when it's like, who is our Notre Dame's X factor?
Hmm.
You're gonna say it was Tobias with two penalties and a crucial mistake when we're trying to get him to rock. Sam Hartman's not athletic to necessarily win it with his feet.
Yeah.
But you're not calling that towards the end of the game.
No.
Well, JT's not there. Aldridge can't necessarily run the best routes in the world. So what are you calling if you Jared Parker? That's a real
It,
question.
hey, from the
Especially if you
Ohio
have to win
State.
the game, not play from a lead. When you play from a lead, it's easy.
Hey,
You'll start seeing everybody.
based upon Ohio State and Duke, Mitchell Evans is the dude.
Mitchell Evans is the dude.
He must be the dude. Mitchell Evans is the dude. And then Rico late because Rico made scored late against Ohio State.
And Rico is a product of not having a go-to guy. You think we waited all season to go to Rico? Rico played himself into that position, which is
And
going back
that's
to
man, that's not throwing shade at Rico.
no, it's not throwing shade to Rico, but we
Rico
didn't.
did exactly what
Nobody
he
in
was
this
supposed to
chat,
do.
like you
Yeah.
said, nobody in this chat felt like Rico was going to be the X factor guy due to us having other guys like Chris Tyree and these guys that we depend on.
Hmm.
Rico played himself into it because nobody was stepping up.
Yeah.
Nobody was taking over that number one position. Like, okay, when it gets clutch time, go to me. We had that with Kevin Austin. I don't think
Hmm.
he quite took over that role, but at least we identified the guy.
Yeah.
When I was at school 2015, it was Will Fuller. And we had other options. We had a couple options, but Will, if it's calling Will's number, something good gonna happen.
Yeah.
Whose number are we calling? Mitch Evans just got back. So
He did.
whose number are we calling for real? And I think that's
Yeah.
the struggle Jared Parker has run into because it's easy when you're playing from the league like North Carolina State, like Navy, like TSU. It's easy. We're at Central Michigan. We're playing from the league. Now it's clutch time. Behind, gotta win, gotta score, must have. Who is that guy on the team when you can't just hand it off?
Yeah.
And hell, I didn't think we would hand it off in that drive. We handed it off because that's our guy. It's like, hell, Audric, I know you can't catch. We're gonna hand that thing to you. Can you run it in from 30 out? Think about that. Who in the country is doing that? Ole Miss not doing that. These teams that are serious about winning college football playoffs not thinking, let's run the ball inside gap scheme with 30 seconds left driving the football, coming off of a 4th and 16 quarterback run.
Hmm.
Nobody but us is calling that. Hell, Ohio State didn't call that. Ohio State went straight throws.
Man.
What they do they said, oh, we're going straight throws. When they got on the one, they ran it. But from
Yeah.
the 30, the same position, we run the gap scheme inside run. They
But
run four verticals.
that I don't know if you saw the 5 minute clip that Notre Dame put out of the last drive on Twitter, and they had the entire chatter with the coaches on their headsets as the background. I'm with you, Left. It really shows the lack of urgency and aggression. Like
Yeah.
they literally just wanted to run the ball, get 2 yards, and set up for a 40-some yard field goal. And it's like,
That's the problem. You're not gonna win games being like that. You're not. We see it too much and too often in college football. When you play like that, you play to lose because the team that's aggressive is going to make that play. You've relaxed the whole team doing that. Everybody goes into relaxed mode when you like, okay, we're going to guide it in. Everybody just one step at a time. We're going to make it out of here. It's college football. Things change at a rapid pace, and the only way to win is to stay ahead of the pace.
mm-hmm.
You trying to set the pace and put people to sleep. They're like, oh, it's time to score. Let's get some urgency. We lost from having no urgency. You only got 10 guys on the field because the 11th doesn't have urgency. You don't have urgency in your coaching to be like, hey, we need all these guys hands on deck. Everybody's mentally locked in the game when you have urgency. We're just too relaxed. Sam Hartman's too relaxed, in my opinion. Yeah, you sound like a teammate, all of that, but you're just too relaxed. Too relaxed. You're not aggressive enough to say, I need the football, I need to make this happen. That's why y'all brought me here. You should be pissed off about that every day. Every day you should be pissed off about that because, one, it helps you. Two, you see the issues.
Yeah. And that's, somebody in the chat said that was the correct football play. That's not the correct football play. Stop reaching for the low-hanging fruit. Because we watch all the best teams go for the juggler.
Yeah.
All the best teams, they get in that situation, they go for the juggler. That's not the correct football play. That's a choice. Nobody, man, if you wanted to see Spencer Schrader jogging that field, you were out of your mind.
Yeah.
Because you had I had zero confidence in Spencer Schrader jogging on that field to kick a 40-yard field goal. None. No faith in him. None. Every week he's missing a 40-yarder every week. Every week.
And they love talking about how strong his arm is. I mean, leg is.
Give me his leg. It's like, man, no, that's not. That's
he
not
can
a football
boom
play. No, there is what people do. That's just like people that are aggressive and go for it on fourth down, right? Most people say, "Oh, punt the ball." Put it like this: the correct football play for Duke was the pooch punt, like they did. That was the correct football play, right? The smart football play. You know what the real OG confident football play would have been?
We're gonna
get this first down and win this game, and Notre Dame doesn't get the ball back.
Yeah, you can't be thinking, oh, we got to put in our defense hands. No,
absolutely,
they have the better
team.
Absolutely, don't put yourself at a disadvantage when they have the better team. If this is your chance, you gotta go kill the dragon.
And in a game like that, as big as that game was for Mike Elko and Duke, how are you not aggressive? Right? He wasn't aggressive in that situation. And then he gets Notre Dame in 4th and 16, and he blitzed the first 3 downs, and he's not aggressive again.
Hoping we mess up.
Yes, if you want to win big games, you have to be aggressive. We don't have time for correct football play stuff. Man, no, be aggressive.
That's how you basketball. You can be passive in basketball.
Heck yeah. You're not beating Ohio State. You're not beating Ohio State making the correct football play. You're not.
You're taking chances, stealing possessions, scoring when it's tight. That's how you beat. That's how you beat all the best teams.
Ohio State got down to the 2-yard line because of a passive defensive play call. Passive.
We allowed them to do that. Yeah.
It's like, what do you stay aggressive? You've been aggressive all night. Stay aggressive. Now you want to go rush 3 and drop 8?
That's what they get.
And then give up the seam at that?
Yeah.
Hey.
It happens all the time.
Man. That's all I'm saying, bro. See, this is different because I wouldn't be thinking that way if Justin Hume was the kicker. If we had Craig Hentrich or Justin Hume coming in, Then I'm like, okay, run the ball 2 or 3 times, get it in the middle of the field. Because I know these dudes are they're automatic. They're
Yeah.
automatic. Garrett Schrader, no. If I can score a touchdown, score a touchdown. I don't care. No, I don't want to see him come out with the ball on the 1 yard line. No, sir. No, sir. I need Aldrich to score the touchdown and make Vegas happy to give Notre Dame the cover on the points. Absolutely.
Right.
That's what I need. I need all of that. But Mike Elko punked out. He had what, 4th and 2 in his territory to seal the
Scared.
game?
Scared.
Scared. Scared money don't make money.
It happens every time. You
It
do not.
happens all the time.
You can't hope that the better team makes a mistake when you're not the better team. Can't hope that
No,
because the better team is going to be better and make the right plays to win. If you give them the
absolutely.
opportunity to win, that's why they're the better team.
Absolutely.
We gave Ohio State the opportunity because we clearly didn't know we didn't want that ball to close the
Yeah.
game out. It was obvious.
Yeah.
We got that first down and thought it was it,
Because
and
I'm
it
telling
showed in
you,
our play calls.
when I saw Riley Leonard come out, it was 4th and 3, 4, whatever it was. I'm saying, here, okay, they're gonna try and run the ball with Riley Leonard, or try to scheme up some type of motion to the flat. Because they did it twice. They did it on the touchdown, and they did it on the 4th down, where they got Ben Morrison on the out route with him rolling out to the left. I'm like, okay, this is what they're gonna do. And then I saw him take a couple of steps back, and Kurt Herbstreit was like, oh, he's gonna pooch it. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're about to give us the ball? Okay, we'll take it.
You got a chance to gut teams. You got to gut them.
Mm-hmm.
And live with the fact that you tried to gut them.
And I think moving forward, that's something we want to see from Jared Parker and Marcus Freeman. Like, now, Marcus Freeman has shown he will go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I
He's
want to see
shown
him
that.
go for it in a game where we not slated to win either. We got to really. I want to see him go for it against USC.
Bro, he went for it twice against Ohio State.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it against USC too.
Man,
Now, the play calls we got to do better on the. You had two quarterback runs on 4th and 1. The one wasn't designed as a
yeah,
quarterback run. One was, but Sam Hartman, I don't want touching the ball with 4th and 1. 4th and 1, we got too many 4th and 1 guys.
mm,
Not that Sam isn't dependable or nothing, but 4th and 1, I want my fastest, strongest, biggest, best players.
yeah,
It's 1 yard now. We don't need number 10 trying to run people over for that. That's
yeah.
that's not that's not the best option. That's not high efficiency.
No, no, it's not.
Now,
So,
Audrey gets stopped on 4th and 1. Okay, I can live with that.
yeah,
I'm gonna probably blame the play call because ain't no way he get stopped with 1 yard. All these plays we got, shit.
yeah, yeah. I was telling Cam today, I felt so good, man, on that drive. Because you know how you watch a game and certain things just become irritable to you.
Yeah,
Like, I'm looking at Paulo Banquero on that last drive, jumping up and down. I'm like, man, go to camp. Like, get
yeah.
this bum out of here. I'm like
See,
Sam. I'm like Sam. We got to take care of business now.
yeah. You got these basketball players getting hype.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even stand on grass. You know what I mean? These is hardwood guys. We getting hardwood basketball players hype.
Mm-hmm.
These guys is not used to no football environment. 80,000 people. They think that just the shame. The shame that we let some of these teams believe that they in it.
Lucky Lefty podcast. So we expect Louisville, Notre Dame fans, Louisville could score early. Jeff Brom is very good. I'm sure he is going to check out the tendencies early in the game, or what Notre Dame wants to do or what they like to do. Their offensive line is mid. So I think Notre Dame's defensive line over the course of the game should be able to handle them. But don't be shocked. Like we said, it's early. It's about the scheme. But then once you start playing, it's about the players. It becomes about the
That's
players.
it.
That's
They got to
it.
go win the game when it matters.
Yeah. So
You just coach
Louisville.
them to that point, and then you get them
Yeah.
to that matchup finally that you figured the other coach out, and you're like, look, this is what you got to run to win the game. This is the one-on-one you got to win,
Yeah.
and it comes down to trusting your players, man.
Man, you have to. You have to. And we'll see, man. We shall see. Anything else before we get out of here, left?
Man, love to see a dominant performance on Saturday.
Me too.
And
Me
hell,
too.
hopefully Chase. I know I laugh about it, but man, hopefully Chase, you know, takes professionalism in a better way. Being a football professional is a little different, a lot harder, but you gotta be more consistent. Not that you can't do all the extra stuff, but man, your time got to be devoted to it at some point.
Um, I just need the offense to be back being efficient. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, act like you've been on the road before. See, Corral. I don't need Marcus Freeman having the cop pleased at the press conference because you, as a senior, 2-year starter at center, don't know the snap count and don't understand silent count on the road. Like, come on, man.
Gotta be
And
better than
then
that.
here's Marcus Freeman having to fall on his sword at the press conference talking about, man, maybe we didn't practice it right. What? Man, it is
Yeah, Marcus Freeman falls on way too many swords for me.
way too many, bro. Way too many. Question: if Golden leaves, should Freeman call defensive plays next year? Uh,
No, Freeman should keep doing what he's doing.
Louisville's quarterback is Notre Dame's quarterback in 2004. 24. Heck, HE double hockey stick. No, no, heck no. Much better
We'll definitely
options.
give him a call though if we need a transfer, knowing us.
Nah, we'll have better options in the portal left. People, man, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning left.
Tomorrow morning we back at it.
Who are you? What's your call this weekend?
I don't have one this weekend. I got next weekend.
Okay. Well, have a great evening, man. Everybody appreciate you. See you all tomorrow morning. Make sure you spend it different.